In this video, I want to talk about the top ways that you can scare a narcissist. Disclaimer, I'm not saying to do these things. I'm just saying that you can if you want. Number 1, always let them know what the deal is. Boundaries are incredibly important. We need to exercise them with everyone, especially with toxic people who never want us to have boundaries or standards or expectations. Never fight with a narcissist and never negotiate. Let them know exactly what it is. Keeping your cool while you're doing this is another thing that can freak them out. There's no reason to be angry with this person. Stay cool and calm and collected as you explain what's acceptable to you or why something isn't okay. Something along the lines of, hey, I really don't appreciate you not reaching out to me on a day that we have plans. You need to do so in the future so that I know things are all good to go. It's actually rude to leave somebody hanging, and communication is really important to me. You're not angry as you say this. You're not being aggressive. It's a completely acceptable thing to say. You're not starting a fight. You're just letting it be known. I don't appreciate this. I don't like it. Here's what I expect, and here is why I value this. I have values, I have standards, and you're going to meet them. This will change nothing, of course, for the toxic person. They will keep doing whatever they want, or they will say, oh, I'm really sorry. And you will see that transactional change, where for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, you get that behavior, but then very slowly it reverts right back to what it was before. But that is where you have to be the one that continues to hold that standard. Is this a broken boundary? Does a consequence need to happen here? And identify, this might be a pattern of behavior. And since they can't make this change for me, since they can't do this, this might be a sign of disrespect, and I might need to handle this situation. But always calling them out on things they do that you don't appreciate can scare a narcissist. Number 2, call them out. Similarly, never be afraid to call them out when they lie or insult you or do something that is very deserving of being pointed out to them. Again, none of these things are going to change anything if you're dealing with a highly toxic person, a highly narcissistic person. These are people who do whatever they please, but what it does do is scare them. If you share something with them like, I know you weren't feeling well when you canceled plans, but then I saw on Instagram that you decided to go out. You don't have to lie about it. Just say you don't want to do something with me. Not only does this show that you are smart and capable, but now it shows that you're brave enough to call them out on their bullshit and call them out and take action. A narcissist doesn't want to be called out, forced to take responsibility, or be put in a difficult spot. Not only might you be met with some resistance to that, you might get some rage, you might get a silent treatment. Remember, when you are doing these things, you will more than likely be punished for them, as the narcissist will try to teach you a lesson for being bold, being brave, and using your voice. Speaking of that, number 3, use your voice. Narcissists want to steamroll you. You're better seen, not heard. They aren't interested in your thoughts, ideas, opinions, or anything. Make sure that you use your voice and make it known how you feel about things. A narcissist might see that they can't back you down into submission. They can't brainwash you or gaslight you or use scare tactics and manipulate you into doing things that you don't want to do. This makes you dangerous, and therefore it is highly likely that you are scaring the narcissist. If you'd like to talk one-on-one with me about what you're going through or what you've gone through in a toxic relationship, you can email BookAChatWithJess@gmail.com to set up private chats. Number 4, the gray rock method is your new best friend. I touched on this earlier in the video when I said, don't get emotional and angry in front of a narcissist. They feed off of your emotions. People who are highly narcissistic love knowing they can do things to control your emotions, knowing they can make you cry, lose control, and yell, maybe even love bomb you to try to make you happy, to get you to stay with them in the relationship longer. You take all of that away from them, that ability to have control when you interact with them using gray rock. A narcissist gets annoyed when you're not happy, you're not sad, you're giving them one-word answers, you appear highly uninterested, and you're just not a fun toy for them anymore. Never text them as much as they text you. Avoid phone calls where they might be able to catch a tone in your voice of you being angry, sad, or having some kind of emotion. You're going to deny them all of that. They want that reaction, that response, that rise out of you. Plan time to go and have your emotions after you have an encounter with them. Be flat, dull, and boring, and gray rock is all about being emotionless, not just about not being angry with them or not losing your cool. It's to appear very bored of them. You scare a narcissist when they learn that their tricks don't work anymore. Number 5, gossip. Don't play games with a narcissist, but also don't play games with the narcissist. Don't engage with them in their gossip, in their drama, and in their bullshit. Playing along like this can actually turn you into a flying monkey, and you might begin to get used in the shenanigans of a narcissist. They might even send you after people to confront them or engage them on behalf of the narcissist, like they do. You might be carrying on and things can backfire. The narcissist might be talking shit about somebody that you both mutually know, and you might feel this camaraderie where you feel like, oh, well, I'll talk shit about them too, and maybe me and the narcissist will be closer. And then the narc goes and runs and snitches on you. And now you're in hot water with somebody because you wanted to partake in idle gossip. Don't play any of these mind games. Don't engage in this gossip. If somebody is talking to you, you can just say, I don't know about that person. I don't want to talk about that person. I don't like this conversation. Don't stoop to any low-level narcissist games. They will try to suck you in. They will try to make these things seem inviting or interesting or really make you curious and want to talk about other people. Don't engage in that. Number 6, don't be reliable. When I talk about my experiences with narcissistic abuse, I always called myself old reliable. That was what I was. I always had money to borrow, a car to drive. I was always nice and sweet and kind, and I would always get this person out of trouble. Yeah, you know what? I don't care how much negative shit I'm going to get about this one. Don't do that. Now, I'm not saying just be a complete asshole to anybody, but don't be afraid to say no, even when someone like this is counting on you. You can say something like, no, I can't leave and come pick you up. I'm sorry, I have things to do. I told you that. Don't bend over backwards when you know that is exactly what someone is wanting you to do, and that's exactly what someone is expecting you to do, to go out of your way when it's extremely uncomfortable for you and just not a good time or something that you just don't want to do. This is pushing your buttons. This is testing you. This is seeing how far will you go for somebody like this. It's all part of their testing process. How far can I push you? How much can I get out of you, even when it makes things super uncomfortable for you? Number 7, hitting the ego. Now again, I'm not saying do this. Save your comments about how all of this is mean. I delete them anyway. I don't read them and I don't care. So a little bit of joking can really, really hurt a frail and fragile ego. I don't really need to give examples here, but just even a little bit of teasing, and I promise you, self-esteem that frail cannot handle even the slightest bit of joking or teasing. Forget about any kind of criticism, constructive or otherwise. Somebody like this, somebody highly narcissistic, cannot handle this in the slightest. And if you have seen something like this, you can share it with me down in the comments. Thank you very much for listening today. If you want more content every week, you can become a channel member to support my efforts here. And if this was helpful to you, you can leave a like on the video. Have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.